Joining me now, Robert Ford, CEO of Abbott. Robert, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So I saw you up on the podium ringing the opening bell. You're here with the We Give Blood Drive. It's a collaboration you have with the Big Ten Conference. Congratulations for being up there.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about the collaboration, why you're doing it, and why you're focused on college students for donating blood.
Sure. Well, this is the second year we've been doing this. The reason we're doing this is that there's a blood shortage in this country. And we approached the Big Ten last year and we said, hey, we actually want to create a competition and create the largest blood drive the country's ever seen. And we thought the best way to do that was to create a competitive environment with the Big Ten. So that's the problem we're trying to solve. There's a shortage, and we haven't seen blood donations go back post-COVID. So they've dropped off and they haven't gone back. So that's our goal here. And we'll announce the winning school to competition, and we'll announce the winning school December 5th at the Big Ten championship game. And the winning school gets $1 million to invest in community and students' healthcare services.
So it just kicked off. I did see that UCLA is currently in the lead. So we'll
That's correct.
We'll have to see if some of the others can catch up. Still early going, but what's the hope? How many people are you hoping to get out there to roll up their sleeves and donate blood?
Well, last year we did 20,000 donations that are directly tied to this initiative. Every donation saves 3 lives. I cannot think of a better ROI of somebody's time. 30, 40 minutes, you could save 3 lives. So I know my team doesn't want me to talk about the actual target, but we definitely want to way exceed that number this year because we've learned what works, what doesn't work. So we got high expectations this year.
Okay, so we will certainly track that. In terms of business overall at Abbott, you became very well known during COVID for the COVID tests, of course, but you have so many different business sides. There's the diagnostics, there's the heart devices, there's nutrition. Tell me where you're seeing the most momentum right now.
Really across the board, to be quite honest with you. If you think about, we're the most diversified healthcare company. So we have a nutritional business. So good health starts with nutrition. If you have an issue, you got to get diagnosed. 70% of every medical intervention starts with a diagnostic test. So we have a very broad diagnostic portfolio. And then you got to treat it. You got to address it. And we got a pharmaceutical business, and we have a medical device business. You mentioned the cardiovascular side. So we looked at those 4 segments. They have some grow really fast. Some are very good growers. But we're really seeing it across the board. And I think in general, what we saw post-COVID is a lot of people want to become a little bit more aware of their health and want to invest in their health, want to take some of their disposable income and allocate towards their own health. So really seeing our nutrition business, people getting more involved in diagnostics and doing diagnostic testing. We have a very strong diabetes business, a bio-wearable business. So those are people buying sensors to understand what's going on with their metabolism. So seeing a lot of growth. First half of the year, we grew about 7.5% on a $45 billion revenue run rate. So I think that's evidence of our portfolio is working.
When you say there's momentum in every business, COVID testing too? I can't remember the last time I took a COVID test.
That is one part of the portfolio, but I would say that was probably not we never really viewed that as a real long term. We did what we believe we had to do for the world society to help. That's kind of now at an endemic stage. I think we're seeing a little bit of an uptake in COVID cases now post-summer, and then we'll see a little bit of an uptake in cases during the winter, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. And we'll have products to be able to support that, but that's not really the core of our business right now.
What's the biggest breakthrough that Abbott's working on right now that could impact people's daily lives?
Well, I mean, it's difficult because it's a parent's heart. You got room for everybody, all of your portfolios. But I would say across the cardiovascular device, I think we have a pacemaker, which is very interesting now. That's really getting a lot of traction, which is what we call a leadless pacemaker. So these are pacemakers that don't require to create what I call an incision here in your chest and put a device in. It actually gets put in through your groin, and it's got great outcomes. And I think that's an incredible technology to separate medical devices inside your heart communicating with each other and delivering therapy. I think that's incredible science. So I'm excited about that. I think on the bio-wearable space, we've launched a consumer bio-wearable called Lingo, and that's starting to get a lot of traction, which are a device that monitors your glucose continuously for people that don't have diabetes to understand, impact of food and exercise and things like that. So we're launching a biosimilars portfolio in the emerging markets in our pharmaceutical business. So really across the board, we have a traumatic brain test for concussion in our diagnostic business. So think about how that, the impact that could have at every high school in this country, to have a rapid blood test in 15 minutes to know whether your child has had a concussion or not. So I think across the board, we've got one of the most attractive pipelines, I would say.
Very cool. So while you're working on all of that, you're also having to plan for and account for tariffs. They
Correct.
have been looming. I know you've said that they're not going to have as much of an impact as you once feared, but still could cost, hundreds of millions of dollars. Does that ultimately mean patients are going to have to spend more?
Well, in the majority of our business, we're not selling that product to the patient directly. We're selling to healthcare systems, but we're aware of the challenges that the healthcare systems are going through right now. So we're doing what we can to be able to kind of have a real lower impact on that. And one of the things that for decades Abbott has done is it's aligned its manufacturing footprint with its sales. So the majority of the United States revenue that we have in the United States is supported by U.S. manufacturing, and the majority of the international sales are supported by international manufacturing sites. So that way we can kind of mitigate the impact. Right now for us, it's just under $200 million. And we have a whole team that's working, because one thing we know is that the tariffs won't go away. We know that once they're put in place, it's very difficult for a government to just go out and take them off. So we have to think long term, how do we do this? And part of it is making manufacturing investments to be able to mitigate that. So
how much of that was a result of the tariffs, and how much of it was already your business plan was already in
I
place?
inherited that philosophy from my predecessors, who really looked at a strategy of matching your revenue with your cost structures. And for us as an international company, what that does is it limits the impact or mitigates the impact of foreign exchange when you do that. So that was the driver of that, and obviously now it's having benefits for us when it comes to tariffs.
And just finally, talk to me about the impact of AI in healthcare. How is Abbott already using it? How will you use it?
Listen, I think it's going to be an incredible tool. I would say there's a lot of healthcare companies are working and are benefiting from it. And so for us, we're working in our diagnostic space, so be able to diagnose things faster, earlier. We're working in our device portfolio. We have a lot of capital equipment that are in hospitals. How do you collect that data and those images to make the procedure faster and simpler? I think what's also going to be important as the healthcare industry does is that the regulation also follows that and aligns to, okay, we're going to have this incredible innovation, and what's the regulatory framework around those products that are more AI driven. So, but I think it's going to be an incredible moment for healthcare over the next 5 years.
5 years from now, how different will it be?
I think it's going to be very different. I don't think we're going to do today what we do in emergency rooms, where we go in, get a bracelet, wait
17 hours.
No, I think we're just going to walk in. You're going to step into a room. It's going to collect all your data. It's going to be very, very fast. I mean, that's just one element, I think. But I think across, even healthcare systems are working really hard using AI. So I think it's going to be very different. Very different.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
That was Robert Ford, the CEO of Abbott.